Hey pop music fans and welcome Swifties. My name is Allison and today is a very special day. Today is the day that Taylor Swift has released Red, Taylor's version, her re-released version of the 2012 album Red. Now, if you don't know, I am an extremely huge Taylor Swift fan. I even have a Swift Talk account and Taylor Swift liked and commented on one of my videos. It's actually really crazy. Check out my Swift Talk account. I linked it below for you. And today we're going to be experiencing Red Taylor's version together as Swifties, because that's what us Swifties do. We experience things together. So I cannot wait any longer. I'm just going to start by listening to the first song, State of Grace, and I can only imagine the instrumentals are going to be so crisp, her vocals are going to be so strong, and I cannot wait any longer. Let's just start with State of Grace. Ooh. There's like a noise in the background in the intro that wasn't there before. It sounds kind of almost like a siren, but not really. It's like some sort of instrument that gives that like ringing sound. It's really interesting. Busy streets and busy. That almost does not sound like Taylor. Like it does, but it sounds so strange because it sounds so different from the 2012 version. I really didn't think it was going to sound that different because Fearless Taylor's version, obviously there was a huge age difference between when she released the album in 2008 at age 18 versus in 2021 at age 31. But she was 22 at this time and now she's 31, almost 32. And I'm shocked at the difference in the vocal tone. It almost doesn't sound like her. It's so crazy. State of Grace. I thought that was amazing. I think with her voice, the way she was singing the words, she kind of enveloped them in a little bit more love. There was a little bit of a greater passion when she sang the words. I don't know how to describe it, but she sang them so delicately and just a beautiful little package of love and care. I don't know how to describe it any better than that, but if you noticed it, you know what I'm talking about. There's a level of love she has for these lyrics, and it's really evident when you can hear her sing it. I'm going to try not to talk too much about each song because this album is 2 hours long and we do not want to be here for that long. So the next song is Red, the title track. Oh, come on. Oh, it's so crisp. Oh, yeah. Oh. It's interesting. It sounds like the background vocal, the is quieter than it is in the original. Her voice overall in these re-recordings is a lot fuller due to better recording technology, more time singing for Taylor. She's spent a lot of years singing since Red was originally released, so her voice sounds a lot fuller, but it seems like the background is a little bit quieter, which is an interesting choice that she lowered the background vocals down a little bit to stand out a little bit less. I kind of liked that part, the but we'll give it to her. It still sounds really great. The banjo, I guess, is that what it is at the beginning, or is it a guitar? It sounds kind of like a banjo. I think it might be a guitar, but that at the beginning sounded so crisp and so sharp. I'm going to say crisp so many times, but that's what it feels like after hearing the 2012 version so many times. The 2021 version is just so crystal clear. Red was fantastic. I thought that it actually sounded a lot like the original song, more than State of Grace did. It was just that one thing that I pointed out with the background vocals being a little bit quieter. Otherwise, it really did just sound like a 2021 version of that song. It was very, very similar to the original, which I know is what Taylor is shooting for. So she did a great job on that one. The next song is one of my favorite songs, my favorite Taylor Swift songs, and it is Treacherous. So let's listen. I think that this one is going to sound maybe a little bit more different than the last two, but just because it's so soft and beautiful. And I think it's going to sound really good in her 2021 vocals. So let's listen to Treacherous. Oh my gosh. The claps. Those claps in the intro, that never really stood out to me before. I mean, it was there, but it doesn't stand out at the forefront of the instrumental. In this version, it does. As long as they don't touch. It actually, her voice sounds really similar. If you say it with your hands. Oh yeah, so soft. Oh, so beautiful. That was amazing. As you can tell, I mean, I've always loved the Treacherous Bridge, but that version, I could just feel the music build up in my body, and it got me so hyped. It felt so good musically. It sounded amazing. I love that bridge, and that was just perfect. That just made it even better. It not only did that bridge justice, it did it so well. I thank you, Taylor. Thank you. I just realized the next song is I Knew You Were Trouble. I don't know if I'm ready. Am I ready? Oh my god. Once upon a time, a few mistakes ago, she sounds really different in this one. Wow. She sounds really different in this one. And I think it might be because she has sung I Knew You Were Trouble so much, so she has a lot of practice really perfecting the vocal of this. But it really does sound on point so far. She's not only hitting every note, it just lands so well. And that this is just the first few seconds. Wow. This version is a lot punchier. It's like, I don't know, that's kind of how a lot of this album is. It's very sharp. And not musically sharp, but just lands and it just hits. Now I'm lying on the cold hard ground. Oh my gosh. The trouble. It sounds the perfect amount of distorted and the perfect volume. There's something about that. It just sounds so good. The trouble. It's so intense. Ugh. I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed. Wow, I think I already said everything that I needed to say about that song as I was listening to it, because there were just so many things that were perfect about it. Everything was just on point about that. I don't even know what to say. I've said it all already. I just want to move on to All Too Well because I'm beyond excited. So let's listen to All Too Well. Oh my gosh. I'm emotional already. as one of her most fan loved songs, one of her most critically acclaimed songs. You can tell that Taylor really did a careful job at ensuring that All Too Well Taylor's version sounds almost identical to the original version of All Too Well. Musically, they are almost exactly the same song. The one thing that I would say is a little bit different is the emotional expression in her voice is more dynamic in terms of it's not quite as angry or sad as the original, but there are moments of joy and longing and being upset, but it's a different kind of anger. It's almost a more kind of honest anger, especially in a song like this where you're missing someone so much and you're remembering the good times. It was definitely a different emotional vibe, but it really fit the song beyond just being an angsty, sad breakup song. There was a lot of longing for the past and nostalgia in her voice, which is perfect for the song. I really didn't think she could have made that song better, but she really did. She really stayed true to it and improved the emotion of it somehow. That was impressive. That was beyond impressive. Let's listen to 22. Let's completely do an emotional 180 and listen to 22. Let's do it. Oh, country song? That is so good. That is an identical song to the original. The only difference I could hear between the original and Taylor's version is that in the original, Taylor is 22, and in Taylor's version, she is 31. That is the only difference. Musically, instrumentally, same song. Vocally, the exact same, but a little bit sharper, clearer, obviously, like the rest of this album. But there was also a little bit, I don't know if it was just because she was channeling youthfulness for this song, but it does sound a little bit more youthful even though she's older. So it's not actually youthful, but it just sounds that way. And it sounds better. I'm going to say that for every single song, but it sounds better. And it sounds more joyful and more fun somehow in an already joyful and fun song. Let's listen to one of my underrated favorites, I Almost Do. Sometimes you wonder about me. Oh! I confess, baby, in my dreams you're touching my face, and I almost do. Wow. Taylor did some really good character research before recording this album because every song is just a little bit more emotionally expressive than the originals were. It's like, it's beyond, I don't know, like the first time she recorded it, she had just lived it. But this time she's recording it, she's lived it, and she's lived what the song means to her fans and to the world. She has all of that to bring into the song to make it even more emotional, and she does a really good job. Let's go on and listen to Red's lead single originally. We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. I remember when we broke up the first time, saying this is it, I've had enough. Cause like we hadn't seen each other in a month, like ever. Yes. It's exhausting, you know, like we are never getting back together. Like ever. No! I never ever, but we are getting back together. This song had one of the first changes that I don't know if I like yet. The we is a lot higher pitched in this. It's like wee. It just like it sounds a little bit like that. Like it sounds a little bit squeakier. And it's meant to be a little bit more like childish. I think like the wee, like it's meant to be more fun. I don't know if that would get old really fast, is the only thing I'm thinking. Time will only tell if I like that with time or if I don't. I'm just not sure if I'm gonna like that or not moving forward the more I listen to it. The other thing I noticed is with the chorus, I know I had previously said with the other songs that every other song she was bringing more emotion to the table. I kind of felt with the chorus there was a little bit less emotional dynamic in this version than the original. And that very well could have been a choice of like, I'm so done with this. I don't know. It's just a little bit less emotional. Like, it sounds a little bit slightly less dynamic, is all I'm saying from the original. Not bad at all. I really love that song overall, just to be clear. But those are just two things that I noticed. Overall, I noticed all the same things I mentioned for the other songs: crisper sound, better vocals. I actually loved the bridge with the phone call part. She nailed it. She got it on point. There were so many things that she nailed about this song. There were just a couple little changes that I'm just not sure about right now, but only time will tell. Now, time to move on to the next song, which is Stay, Stay, Stay. The next song is Stay, Stay, Stay. And I've been saying that Stay, Stay, Stay is going to have a big meaning change between Read the Original and Read Taylor's version, because Stay, 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 the original, was about a fictional relationship. It never happened. It was just made up fictional story. Now, she's been with her boyfriend for 5 years, and she finally has found somebody who has stayed. And it's going to be really interesting to hear this song because the meaning has changed for Taylor. It's now more personal. It's not a fictional song anymore. She actually is singing to someone and saying, stay, stay, stay. And I think Swifties are going to appreciate Stay, Stay, Stay more than they have, because this song is underrated. Not one of my favorites on the album, but definitely underrated. Still love it. Let's jam. It's a little bit, I don't know, like I was about to say like more higher pitch, but as again, like I said with the wee e, it's not actually higher pitch, but it's just a little bit bouncier than the original. And it sounds more like it belongs in a commercial than the original did, which is saying something. I like that. Self-indulgent takers took all of their problems out on me. I'd like to hang out with you for my whole life. Something that I noticed, especially in the bridge there, is she's able to switch between the sweeter, lighter voice and her fuller, deeper voice. So she goes back and forth. It's like dun, 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 all the time. Like she's able to switch between the light and the bouncy to the more rich, full, her actual voice. And I think that actually adds, again, like I said before previously, it adds more dynamic to the song, which is a common theme throughout this album. She's trying to make them even more rich and deep and exciting than the originals were, and it's working, and they still sound very true to the original. Best if we both stay. That's so fun. Aww. Yeah, she said that's so fun, different than she did before. Like the original was like, that's so fun. And this one, I don't know. You know the difference. That was such a fun version of that song. It was somehow even more fun, more bouncy, more light, more stay, stay, stay than even the original Stay, Stay, Stay is. And I appreciated that a lot. Let's move on to the next song, which is The Last Time, featuring Gary Lightbody. This is the first duet we're having in this album. Not only are we listening to how Taylor sounds different, but we're also listening to how Gary Lightbody sounds different. So this should be interesting. So dramatic and intense. Couple things. First of all, I'm loving this. Gary Lightbody, his voice doesn't sound as deep or as low. It's just not seeming as deep as it did before, and I actually kind of like that. Um, when Taylor started singing, I just noticed their voices blend so well. They blend well in the original, but I think this is just, they blend so much better in this version. Probably because over time, Gary Lightbody's voice got a little bit higher, I guess, and Taylor's voice got a little bit lower, so they're a little bit more similar now. There's also something in the background that's a little, like a little snare or something like that, like, which is interesting. I've never noticed that before. Let's keep listening. I noticed some strings at the end there that I had never noticed in the original, and obviously it sounds good. I love strings in music, especially, I mean, pop music. I think it's amazing. And I think their voice sounded so good together. And honestly, that did really sound true to the original with the addition of strings, and their voices did sound a little bit different, but they blended a little bit better. So that is awesome. Let's go right along and listen to the next song. The next song is Holy Ground. Holy Ground is one of my favorites, so I'm very excited. I'm just taking a moment to prepare for the drums. I don't know if I'm ready. Let's take a deep breath together. First thing I'm noticing about the difference in Holy Ground is the original, these notes that she's singing are lower in her chest voice. And now, as she's aged, she kind of has to push it up into like a mix with a little bit of head voice. And it's just a different sound. I do kind of like the original, how it's like she's almost singing deep for herself. But let's keep listening. I'm not going to say I didn't like that version of Holy Ground, but it did sound very different vocally. Instrumentally, exact same song, just maybe a little bit sharper, crisper, everything I said before. The vocals, like I was mentioning earlier about the different part of her voice that I'm hearing her sing at, I I don't know if I like it as much because you can tell that she's kind of sweetening, softening her voice, and I kind of like for it to be more raspy. If you know what I'm talking about, there's that one performance where she's like, the store's got dust on it, and she like really emphasizes the dust. I wish she had done that here, but I noticed that she didn't. I kind of like it a little bit deeper, like not deeper, but a little bit raspier than this. This was very light. And again, still love this song. I'm going to love this song no matter what. This version of this song is great. I kind of was hoping for a little bit of a different version than what we got here, but I still love this, just so you know. Let's move on to the next song, which is Sad, Beautiful, Tragic. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Contrasting to Holy Ground, this song resonates at a deep, low part of our voice that sounds really good. Taylor just sounds really good at this register. And we've noticed that a lot on Folklore and Evermore. And it's just really highlighting this song and making this song even more likable to me because it just sounds really good in her current 31-year-old voice. Silence, the train runs off its tracks. Kiss me, try to fix it. Beautiful, tragic, beautiful. What we had. I thought that version of the song sounded so beautiful. I love that so much. I have nothing to say other than it sounds so much like the original, but her voice is just so beautiful in that one. Wow, I'm just at a point with this album where it's just so amazing, and it's just the same songs that I love, and I'm just so impressed by how much she nails it. She does the exact same song, the exact same way, but just slightly different. Just only different in the ways that it needs to be different. Otherwise, exactly the same, which is really admirable. And I really like this album, obviously, because I've always loved this album. Let's keep listening and let's move on to the next song, which is The Lucky One, another underrated fave of mine. Let's listen. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this one. Too real nowadays. This song's too real for Taylor. Another name goes up in lights, but I think you got it right. I think so far, The Lucky One sounds the most similar to the original. One difference that I did notice is it sounds like she's singing a little bit more somber than the original, which I like personally because the original, if anything, is a little bit too gleeful for the subject matter. And it makes sense that she's singing in a little bit more of a somber tone because she was canceled just a couple years ago and she thought that her career would never be the same again. Luckily it is, but things happen when you're famous and it can ruin you and it can break you down emotionally, and this song does mean something different to her now. Let's move on to the next song, which is Everything Has Changed featuring Ed Sheeran. Now we get to see how Ed Sheeran sounds different. Ed Sheeran does sound a little bit different in 2021, and if you want to know what I think about Ed Sheeran's music in 2021, then you should check out the reaction I did to his new album, Equals. I'm going to link it up here, and you can go watch my reaction to his new album. But let's hear how they sound together on Everything Has Changed.
We good to go?
Yes. I love that. Wow. I believe that song was recorded in 2021, but it easily could have been the exact same as the 2012 version. No, it didn't sound the same. Somehow, both Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran sounded youthful and with the same joy and energy of the original version of Everything Has Changed, so it almost sounds identical in feeling. It feels like the exact same song, which is all that matters. And yes, Taylor is a little bit higher up in her head voice than it was for her back then. It wasn't quite as high and light as it is here, but it works. It really does. It works on the new version. I am a fan. Let us listen to the second to last song on the original version of Red. This is Starlight, which I actually like this song. The song gets a little bit of hate, but I think this song is so fun. I hope this song shows the haters what they were missing when they were hating on Starlight, because it's a fun bop. Let's jam. I said, oh my, what a marvelous tune. 17 and crazy, running wild, wild. Vocals are serving. And I said, oh my, what a marvelous tune. It sounds like the chorus was actually made a little bit more rock and a little bit less pop with more electric guitar at the forefront, and I actually really like that. The electric guitar on that song was doing the most to transform Starlight into a bouncy little pop song into a great pop rock song. I love that. And there's a little like hoo 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 in the background that I didn't notice before. That was really cool. So that was a really cool version of Starlight. Let's listen to the last song on the original version of Red, Begin Again, which is great because the album cycle of Red is finally coming full circle and beginning again. And we walked down the block to my car and almost brought him up. But you start to talk. I think it's strange that you think I'm funny because he never did. Okay, that was exactly the same song. That was Begin Again, the original version, just different. That was the most spot on Taylor's version I have heard. That is it's the exact same song. Obviously, it's not, there are subtle differences, but that is the most similar I have heard, in my opinion. Begin Again, Taylor's version, and Begin Again, the original, are very similar. So that was the end of the original Red album, but do not worry because there are still deluxe Red album songs that I still know and love before we get to the Volt songs. So let's listen to the first deluxe version song, and that is The Moment I Knew. Oh, the cello. No, the cello. It's gonna make me cry.
And it was like slow motion, standing there in my party dress, but there was one thing missing, and that was the moment I knew.
That part was different because before it's higher. She optioned down. Overall, this song, The Moment I Knew, sounds very similar to the original, except for that one part, which it was really cool. I like the original when she goes up higher for that note, but I like the harmony that was going on there. It was really cool. Another song that sounded really similar to the original in a really impressive way. There were just a few subtle differences, like that note at the end that I pointed out, but otherwise, wow, it really does sound really similar, which is impressive. I really like that song, and I like that she was able to channel the sadness of that song for this performance, and it was great. The next song is Come Back Be Here, which is so good. So good.
Said it in a simple way.
This sounds a little different. I'm not sure if because I've now listened to, 16, 17 Taylor's version songs of Red, that I'm beginning to feel like, I don't know if I'm just beginning to feel like they all sound similar to the original, because I thought that one sounded really similar to the original too. Maybe I'm just really used to the new sound of Red Taylor's version, and it's really gotten in there, and it sounds like the original version now. But I really do think Come Back Be Here, Taylor's version, side by side with the original, is very similar. Just a few spots where her voice is a little bit deeper, richer sound. But otherwise, man, that was the same song. Come Back Be Here was the exact same. Next song is Girl at Home, and I do wonder if this one is going to sound the same or if it's going to sound a little bit different. I know this song is, among the Swiftie community, it's usually a least favorite. So I am interested to see if she took that note of not a lot of fans really enjoying this song and she changed it up a little bit. Let's see, because I actually don't hate this song. There was actually a time where I really liked this song and it's kind of a bop, but a lot of Swifties are not a big fan of it. So let's see if she changed up the song at all. Maybe. What did I just say? Oh my God. Oh my God. What is the distortion here? And the 1989 production, I'm not sure if I like this better. It's definitely different. I am very interested to hear the rest of this, but it's so different. Distorted 1989 production almost with the electronic sounds. This is wild. That was cool. Well, I will say that doesn't really sound like it belongs on the album. I don't know if that was the best choice. I do like that version. It is really cool, certainly. I wish she had played with the distortion a little bit more rather than just making the whole song distorted. Maybe if it went back and forth between regular voice and distorted. I just think overall the production didn't really match the rest of the album the way the original version of Girl at Home did. And I kind of think if we had just gotten a remade version of Girl at Home, he might have liked that one. I do think this one is cool. I do need to listen to it a few more times because maybe I do kind of like the original. The original is really fun, and this is just really different and kind of sounds like it belongs on 1989. But I am willing to give it another chance and listen to it some more and see if I do like that version more than the original. Because, I mean, what is there to lose, honestly? I mean, Girl at Home was never the most popular song on the album. So by Taylor switching it up a lot, like she did with that one, and just made it a completely different song production-wise, I really don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how other people feel about it. But that was interesting to say the least. I'm going to assume Jack Antonoff did that because it sounds like him. Maybe not, but that belongs on 1989. One last song for the original version of Red before the Vault songs. The one last song is State of Grace acoustic version, and I've always loved the acoustic version. It sounds so soft and so gentle and so sweet. So let's enjoy State of Grace acoustic version.
Saw you coming.
Well, that was another song that sounded basically exactly like the original. Honestly, if you put State of Grace acoustic and State of Grace acoustic Taylor's version next to each other in a lineup, I might struggle to tell the difference. That was absolutely wild. Obviously I'm impressed. I think her voice sounds so beautiful on that one. I just want to name the songs that I think sounded the most different from their originals, because I think that would be fun and cool. I think I Knew You Were Trouble. I Almost Do. Everything Has Changed the Last Time. Sad, Beautiful, Tragic. Stay, Stay, Stay in a Way. The Lucky One. Starlight. Obviously Girl at Home. So there were a couple songs that sounded different, but then there were a lot that sounded exactly the same. Begin Again, Come Back, Be Here, State of Grace acoustic, The Moment I Knew. I think Red sounded really similar. There were a bunch that sounded really similar and then a bunch that sounded really different, which was cool. That was an interesting mix. I really like that album. I will be listening, so it is late at night right now, the night that the album came out. I will be listening to the Vault songs tomorrow, and I will be listening to them with my friend Michaela. So we will be doing a joint reaction, which I will cut to now. So we are going to be listening to the Vault songs from Red Taylor's version now. We're very excited. The first one is Ronin, and I just know, I can't believe this is the first Vault track because this is probably going to make me, I always cry listening to this song. I know, like we can't cry because we got makeup on,
Yeah.
so I'm not wearing waterproof mascara, but let's just hope this doesn't hit too hard. Okay. And this is apparently getting a music video too.
Yes.
I'm not gonna be okay.
Oh my gosh. I can't look.
Aww. No. Ooh. Drums.
Oh my god.
It sounds so good.
Amazing.
No.
Can't do it.
This is the part that always gets me.
Yes. Wow.
Thank God that's over.
Wow.
What did you think of Ronin?
Oh, she's so smooth.
Yeah.
It was just like beautiful and smooth. Just like
I really liked the guitar. I
Yes.
think it sounded very nice and very calming.
yeah.
It seems kind of almost more like a lullaby than the last
Yeah.
one did.
Oh my gosh. This song.
Yeah, like she's singing him to sleep.
Oh.
Okay. Obviously this song is beautiful and we love it. It's just very hard to listen to.
Yes.
So let's hope that the rest of them are a little bit easier to listen to.
Yeah.
The next song is Better Man,
Can't
which
cry.
we love. We love the non-Taylor version of, so let's see what this version sounds like.
Probably better off on my own.
The voice.
I know the bravest thing I ever did was run.
Oh.
I can feel you again. And I just
Oh.
miss you, and I just wish you were a better man. Better man.
It sounds like, her voice sounds a lot like the version she did in Bluebird Cafe, which I love, obviously, so it sounds amazing here.
I'm probably better
Oh.
off all alone than needing a man.
This sounds a little different.
Just find it any given
I like it though.
It's like a pitch higher.
Yeah.
better man.
Yeah. I like how she kind of sped up Betterment, like a better,
Yeah.
like I like that. I wonder who was singing background vocals on that. It might have been her, but
I think it sounded like her.
okay. I couldn't tell if it was her or somebody else.
I am honestly glad that it took her that long to do her own version of that song because I feel like her voice suits it better now. than it would
Yeah.
have back then.
I agree. It sounded really good. What I also noticed is I think, at least compared to her demo, it sounded less sad. Like, sad that I lost this guy, and more
Yeah.
like, sucks for you.
Yeah.
Like, we could have still been together if you hadn't been such a jerk.
Yeah.
Which I actually kind of like. It was definitely less sad than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciated.
I feel
And it was
like
more like triumphant.
Yeah, if I feel like it started sad, like the beginning of it made me cry. And
Yeah.
the end was like, haha. Like,
Yeah. That's kind of been a theme I've noticed with this whole album so far, is there's a lot more emotional dynamic. She hits
Yeah.
those lows, and then she can hit the highs as well, which is awesome. The next song, oh my gosh. The next song is Nothing New, featuring Phoebe Bridgers.
Phoebe Bridgers.
Apparently she has a verse, so I'm very excited. Obviously, let's just listen.
Then they hunt and slay the ones who actually do it.
Oh, that's true.
Besides, you still want me when I'm nothing new.
Oh, this is so sad. This is so sad.
So on brand for Red.
Turn around and fake and smile.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Breaking down and
I know, it's so sad. This is like a true duet.
Yeah.
She doesn't only have a verse.
Yeah.
She's like singing a chorus.
It's so good. They sound so good together.
They really do. Their voices are almost indistinguishable.
I know.
I thought it was really interesting. So the song, though it can be about a relationship, it's about being an artist, especially a female artist, and losing novelty.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that obviously Taylor loves Phoebe Bridgers, and we saw that in a recent interview. But I think it's interesting that she chose Phoebe because Phoebe's kind of been called like the sad girl's Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And she's a relatively new artist, so it's almost like she's bringing somebody who could be a replacement for her onto a song.
Yeah.
But they're singing it together, knowing that they both can easily be replaced by the next shiny new artist.
I love that.
So I thought just the symbolism of that was really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think about that?
I love that. I think their voices fit so well together, and I think that they should do more.
I
collabs.
agree. They like sounded almost the same
Yeah.
in some ways.
Yeah.
And it was so good together. The next song that we are listening to is Taylor's version of Babe. I think I've heard that this one sounds different than the Sugarland version, which will be interesting. Let's listen.
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
Yes, I like that. Ooh, nice. Oh, I'm excited. That was awesome.
Love that.
Ooh!
That's funky.
Ah!
I love that.
Me too! I like that.
I love that.
That was so cool. I like that she changed up the song a lot.
Like the instrumentals and everything.
Yeah, and the What About Your Promises thing, the
Yeah.
bridge was different in like a really cool way. Yeah, I think it was the instrumentals, but also the rhythm of the vocal was a little bit different too, so it was really cool.
It still sounded the same, but so different.
Yeah, like the verses and the like first couple choruses were the same enough, similar enough, but just a little bit enhanced and a little bit more special and unique to Taylor's version rather than the version she was just featured on. The next song is Message in a Bottle. I think this is the one that was with Shellback and Max Martin, and it is gonna be like a pop song, probably like 22, and We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, and I Knew You Were Trouble. Those were all the songs on this album that they worked on, so I think it's gonna be very pop like that. Yep. There it is. This is so different from the rest of the album.
It is.
Like a club song.
It's very 90s, like teenage pop.
Yeah.
It's cool.
The London is like Come Back Be Here.
Yeah.
I wonder if they go together. That song sounded like it could have been on 1989. Like it very well could have been written between Red and 1989.
Yeah.
Because that was such a, like, either she like wrote that between Red and 1989 or just because she had the chance to work on the new song and make it whatever production she wanted because nobody's heard it before. It was just completely different from the rest of the album, but obviously the lyrics really fit with the rest of the album. It fit with I Almost Do and Come Back Be Here. And Taylor's mentioned before the concept of a message in a bottle, like her songs are like a message in a bottle that maybe someday somebody will hear it or maybe not. So, and this song wasn't meant to be heard at first, but now it is.
Now it is.
Here it is, a decade later. Now we are going to be listening to I Bet You Think About Me featuring Chris Stapleton.
So country.
I know. I figured with Chris Stapleton. Oh my god, it's so country. The accent.
Yes.
Oh my god. Hello, Piano Man.
Not what I was expecting.
No.
I bet you think about me.
Yeah.
I love it.
Her voice in this.
Oh, this
my
is my
god.
favorite so far.
Just living room dancing, kitchen tables.
The lyrics are so descriptive.
They are.
I bet you think about me.
I love that. I love it.
The love that you're looking for is the love that you had.
Oh, I love it so much.
I love it too. Wow.
The way she says bet, she's like, bet?
Yeah.
Oh my god, she's insane.
Oh my gosh. That was like so old school Taylor.
It was.
But I loved it. That was clearly like, I think that was because I
I think it's meant to have been on the album after Red, but then 1989 happened and it had to be scrapped because it was so country. But I loved it. The harmonica. I liked that Chris Stapleton just had backing vocals, giving the men a taste of their own medicine in Taylor Swift songs, because usually the females do the backing vocals when featured. But Phoebe had a burst, and
she had a whole chorus.
It was a true duet. But Chris Stapleton was just backing. But I liked it because I liked that it was like the man is also like kind of thinking about it. The way that Taylor, like, her lyrics are like so descriptive in the verses, and then the guy comes in the chorus. I think it is kind of symbolic of like he's thinking about her, but not like the way she's like over analytically thinking about it, which I think is really cool. What did you like about that one?
I think that I do like that Chris Stapleton was more in the back. I love Chris Stapleton, but I think that it sounded better with just a little bit of his voice. And the way that she says, "I bet you think about me," it sounded almost like a haha, like I bet you think about me.
I love it. That was awesome. The next song is Forever Winter. Interesting. Oh no, is this gonna be sad? No, okay.
Definitely.
Oh no.
Definitely.
Oh man.
He's up 3 a.m. pacing, begging all this time.
This is so different.
It's so different.
But like also fits so well.
He seems fine most of the time.
Ooh, I like this.
Even as your darkest, and please don't go.
The verses are so different than the chorus.
I know, it switches up so many times. And now this bridge is so different too.
Ooh, I like that.
I know. She was comparing herself to summer, like I'll be the summer sun, and then without her, it's forever winter.
Yeah.
Which, that's a really cool concept for a song.
I think musically it was probably my least favorite so far.
Yeah.
But I still like it a lot.
It was definitely experimental, which a lot of Red is, so I understand why it fits on there. It was a little bit all over the place, but it was kind of cool. Like, it was very interesting. Like, each part of the song I was like, whoa,
different.
Was not expecting that. Like, I just kept not expecting things. It was crazy. All right, the next song is Run featuring Ed Sheeran. Eddie. I was not expecting this.
No.
What did you think of Run? That was, I thought with a title like Run, I actually thought it was going to be more of an upbeat song.
I thought it was going to be a lot sadder, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But it was more like sweet, like.
Yeah, it was definitely soft and sweet. It reminded me, actually, honestly, more of an Ed Sheeran song than a Taylor song.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. Like his first album.
Yeah, because that was right around this time period.
Yeah.
This would have been written right after his first album.
I wonder if she like offered it to him at any point.
And
maybe that's why it resonated.
I'm not sure. Because I think, like, I saw something with Ed Sheeran talking about it where when he found out that everything has changed was on Red, but not Run, he was a little bit sad about it. Because he thought Run was going to be the one that was on the album. Actually, I'm kind of glad Everything Has Changed was the one that was on the album. I like that one better.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that was like a really soft, calming song. Like that would be good for like a relaxing playlist.
Oh, yeah.
It's very comforting. So yeah, that was a good one. The next song is The Very First Night.
This is Speak Now vibes.
Yeah, she sounds so young.
Yeah.
It sounds like Speak Now.
Yeah.
And her voice sounds so young. I don't know how she did that. That's pretty impressive, actually.
Miss you like it was the very first time.
Okay.
Oh. This sounds like a moody soundtrack.
Yeah. It does. It could be sweeter than Fiction's sister.
Yeah. Better than
Better,
Sweeter Than
yeah,
Fiction.
better. Yeah.
Hallway.
I hope she performs this live at some point.
Such a jumpy song.
I know. What did you think of the very first night? I thought that was so fun. We said that was a jumping song.
Yes, it was
She
very
needs to
boppy.
play it live.
Yes.
I thought it was so fun. It did not sound like a Taylor song.
No.
At all. Like, honestly, it kind of sounded like a Carly Rae Jepsen song a little
did.
bit.
It did.
But
Something
I
I
thought it
wanna
was so fun.
Jump and dance to.
I really liked that one. That was one of my favorites, actually. It was
Yeah.
really fun. And it was cute. Like,
It was so
the
cute.
lyrics were really cute.
Yeah. It felt very Speak Now, though. It did not
It
feel
did. It did feel a little bit older. Yeah, so glad that one was so fun. Now we're in a tunnel and it's getting dark, symbolically,
Yeah.
because we're about to listen to the last song on Red Taylor's version, which is All Too Well, the 10-minute version.
10-minute explicit version.
And apparently this is the song that it was meant to be. This song, rather than the
This
one
is
that was
gorgeous right here.
on the album. Oh my gosh, yeah, wow. Very Red vibes.
Yes.
Very.
Taylor Red vibes.
Driving in the car, getting lost upstate.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted us to do.
Oh, stop it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's listen to All Too Well, the 10-minute version. I love it. Oh my gosh. I love, oh my god.
What? It sounds different.
Yeah. I listened to the intro a little bit. It's different, yeah. I love it though. It's so good. I love that guitar. It's beautiful. I love it.
It's angelic.
I know. It's sad too. She sounds sadder. Oh.
It sounds like Don't You.
It does. It does.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Fuck the patriarchy! Oh my
Oh my god. I love this production. Oh.
amazing.
Oh my god. I'm obsessed with this.
Me too. Oh!
Oh my god.
She said maybe if we were close in age.
Oh my god, the moment I knew. Oh.
Why didn't you show up?
He's maybe if they'd been closer in age.
She went for his neck.
Oh my god.
Still 3 minutes left. Oh, it is All Too Well.
Yeah. This is insane. This is like a sequel.
It is. It's a whole new song.
Oh my gosh. It's like haunting.
It is.
Okay, so we're gonna listen to this again.
Yeah.
Fades out so that it can be 10 minutes and 13 seconds. So
Right?
it's just,
Insane.
so, that was just the most amazing thing ever. I really did not expect Like, I expected to listen to just, like, the 5-minute version of All Too Well from now on, just because, like, 10 minutes is a lot.
Yeah.
But, like...
But it was like a whole
that
new
was
song
so good.
added to
and it was so different, and the emotion to it was so different, too, and it was so much sadder.
Yes.
It was so much sadder and less angry than the original version. It was way more sad. So she's going to be playing that on SNL tonight.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, she said on Jimmy Fallon.
Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night. She said on Jimmy Fallon that she's not playing 2 songs. She's playing 1 song that is the length of 3 songs. So I think we know what she's playing.
Yeah.
And I am so excited for that. That was just so good.
It was amazing.
That was so good. Okay, let's talk about our favorite Vault songs. I'll go first. Mine, I loved Better Man, Nothing New. I Bet You Think About Me actually surprised me. I really like that one. The Very First Night and All Too Well 10-minute version. I know I named like over half of them, but those were my favorites. What were your favorites?
I mean, obviously, All Too Well 10 Minute is going to be everybody's like top.
It was so good.
So let's just like not even count that because everybody loves that. But I think I Bet You Think About Me and Better Man are probably my favorites.
Yeah. What did you think of Red Taylor's version overall?
Amazing.
Yeah,
As always.
Obviously, like
As always.
Yeah. I'm shocked how improved most of the songs were, and a lot of them sounded the exact same.
And you can tell how much she put into it.
Yeah, she spent a lot of time like really getting into her character from a decade ago.
Yeah.
And really focusing on making sure the songs were as similar as possible, except for places where she wanted to enhance the song and make it a little bit different. So, Taylor, good job. Congratulations on another re-record. Well done. Maybe we'll see you soon. Maybe. I don't know.
So that album was amazing. Let me know what you guys think of Red Taylor's version in the comments. What was your favorite re-recorded track? Which one sounded the same to you versus which one sounded the most different? And what was your favorite Vault song? Let me know what your favorite Vault song is because I really want to know that one. And if you want to see more of my Taylor videos, I will link them up here. And subscribe to my channel to see more album reactions, more Taylor content, more pop music content. Follow my TikTok for tons of Taylor content. That's a lot of Taylor content on my TikTok, so follow the TikTok. Over here we do more different kinds of albums and stuff I've never listened to before. But thank you so much for watching this, staying till the end, subscribing to my channel, liking this video so more Swifties can enjoy our group reaction here of positivity and interesting critiques, and me saying the word interesting a lot of times. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and bye!